On October 4th, an emergency alert is going out on practically every electronic device in the United States. We'll look in this video at what the mainstream's saying is going to happen here, some conspiracies surrounding this, any prophetic connections this may have, as well as real threats that are happening with this technology this very day. First, we'll take a look at what the mainstream is saying is going to happen with this October 4th alert.
Heads up, this fall, everybody with a cell phone set to be part of a nationwide emergency alert test. FEMA and the FCC scheduled the drill for October 4th, just after 2 p.m., so you'll know if you get it that day. It's just a test of that system. The alert on your phone should read, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." Now, the reason for that test, to make sure the public can be aware of any potential national emergency.
On the website regarding this alert system, it says what we'll call EMA and the FCC plan a nationwide emergency alert test for October 4th, 2023. The purpose of the October 4th test is to ensure that the systems continue to be an effective means of warning the public about emergencies, particularly those of the national level. In case the October 4 test is postponed due to widespread severe weather or other significant events, the backup testing date is October 11th. Worth pointing out is that something similar to this happened under President Trump. On October 3rd, 2018, Americans to receive cell phone alert from Trump in first national test. This was very similar in regard to being a national presidential alert system that will let any president issue a warning about a crisis that could include a missile launched by another country at the US or a tsunami. Now, this of course has drummed up a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding this, and we'll look at what some of them are. Some people are worried that this could be a national malware that the government would be downloading onto people's phones. The main theory seems to be that people are worried that this could be a health risk, saying that millions and millions of people getting alerts on their phones at the exact same time doesn't seem safe. Other claims are that when the alert goes out, that it will trigger something in regards to what people had injected in their body. Personally, I don't believe anything is going to happen on October 4th. I'll say that right at this point, but there is some things that we need to be paying attention to at this point, and this could definitely have bigger implications down the road. Now, before people just write off the conspiracy aspect on why people think that, it's worth pointing out that people don't just make these claims with nothing to back them up. I've got some old things that I want to point out here. These have been known for, in some cases, 10 years, but worth pointing out in regards here. Rex 84 is short for Readiness Exercise 1984, a classified scenario and drill developed by the United States federal government to suspend the United States Constitution, declare martial law, place military commanders in charge of state and local governments, and to detain large numbers of American citizens who are deemed to be national security threats in the event that the president declares a state of national emergency. The plan states and allows the military to direct ordered movements of civilian populations at state and regional levels to any place they need to be placed. Many people connected this to the FEMA regions that was also released a long time ago, where the nation of the United States is divided into specific regions if a national event took place where people would be forced into these different regions. In 2012, something else was released, and it was an Army manual for re-education camps that applied to United States citizens. FM 3-3940, entitled Internment and Resettlement Operations, verifies that there was plans within the United States that were leaked that said that they had the blueprints for putting the country's own citizens into guarded Army detainment centers. Those two things have been known for quite a while now, but I thought they were worth pointing out because some people put other people down when they jump to the conspiratorial aspect of this, but those things really aren't founded out of nothing. There is a history of strange things within the government, really, that make people look to a conspiratorial aspect when these things start to take place. Another thing worth bringing up that everyone's pointing out is that Maui had alert systems as well, but they didn't go off when they had their national tragedy. So really, what is the aspect of this, and will this new alert system actually be used for good? Now, personally, I don't believe that anything is going to happen on October 4th that we need to worry about, but there are threats, especially with technology and these types of levels of getting everyone involved on a technological basis, that definitely are worth paying attention to. First, I'm going to point out the biblical connection that this could have, as well as some threats that are going on right now, this very day, with your phone that you should be aware of. Revelation 13:15 says, "The second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship it to be killed." Many people have linked to this image of the beast and people not worshiping it to people not following the orders of what could be on technology, an image of the beast that will be seen worldwide. This could definitely have a link to technology. Revelation 13 in 16 through 18, a popular verse many of us know, is that the Antichrist will cause all people, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their hand or their foreheads that they can't sell or buy without this mark. That was written almost 2,000 years ago and just shows how the Bible is so prophetic, because people were not connected back then at all. People had no idea how big the earth was. People were living in the mountains. People didn't have to buy or sell at all. But here we have a prophecy that one day there will be a day where no one can buy or sell without a mark. Technology, in my opinion, will have a connection to that when that takes place. Many people are worried that the government will now be able to track their phones. When this alert goes out, they're going to download something where their phones can be tracked. The similar thing came up when people were worried about TikTok and Chinese getting the ability to access their phone. But something that needs to be pointed out is that every app has this same ability when you download it and you agree to its terms of service. Not to mention that the NSA and security agencies from every government around the world have the ability to tap into any single device that is connected to the internet. If you don't want something to be tracked or downloaded off your phone, or people to look through your pictures, your documents, anything about your data, if you're worried about that, don't put it on a device that's connected to the internet. Any device is not safe when it's connected to the internet, and that's super important. And even the camera app, when you download that on your phone, says it watches keystrokes, it can access your pictures. Nothing is safe if it's on a device that connects to the internet. And if you don't believe me on that, then here's a clip from Edward Snowden, who worked for the NSA, saying the exact same thing.
What can the NSA do with this device if they wanted to get into my life?
Right. The NSA, the Russian intelligence service, the Chinese intelligence service, any intelligence service in the world that has significant funding and a real technological research team can own that phone the minute it connects to their network. As soon as you turn it on, it can be theirs. They can turn it into a microphone, they can take pictures from it, they can take the data off of it.
So again, I'll say I don't believe October 4th is anything to worry about. When I talk about these dates, most of the time I'm doing it to point out that I don't believe we know these dates when they come out. But sometimes it could be good to talk about them and point them out, because if it becomes widely known, then of course nothing's going to happen on that day, because it'd be too obvious. But I just want to point out, in my opinion, I don't think there's anything to worry about on that day. If you have the ability to turn off your phone, you can do that. You could even put the device in a Faraday box that blocks its signal completely. You can make them actually pretty easy from home. There's tons of videos online about that. But my whole aspect and how I look at this is when we see all the world or the nation or tons of groups of people being forced into one thing that is being put upon them, whatever that is, then that starts to look like the prophetic timeline of people not being able to buy or sell, worshiping an image, and getting in that worldwide control system that the Antichrist will one day have. But as a follower of Jesus Christ, we are not told to fear. Really, there's nothing to fear. You live for Jesus now. One day we'll be with him forever. He'll protect us. We'll be in paradise with him forever. So that's the mindset we need to be in. 2 Timothy 1:7, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. If you are fearful of this or anything else going on in the world, speak and declare biblical truths about what God says about you over your life and over your situation. It's a very powerful thing to do, and I highly recommend it. Another verse worth memorizing and reading and pointing out is really all of Psalm 91, but verses 7 through 8 are great ones. 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. God is with us, God is for us, so keep your hope and your strength within these biblical truths, because that's truly where we stand with God and will be with him if you're believing and following Jesus Christ with eternity, with no worries. Keep grounded in the truth of the gospel and the protection and love of God. I pray you all are well. Thanks for watching, and God bless.